Hello and welcome back to Odyssey Codes. So today I thought we would switch gears a bit and begin reviewing a popular tool that all of you use or may need to start using because of how great it is. We'll be taking a look at Google Docs. Let's get started. All right, let's get started. So in this tutorial, what we'll be doing is going through some of the basics on how to use Google. The goal for this will be to create a title, multiple headings, format the text, as well as go through some of the extra niceties that come with Google Docs that actually make it such a powerful tool to work with other people. So the first thing that we'll see is that it looks very similar to Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word. There are some added things, for example, being able to move this inside of your Google Drive, being able to make calls with the people who you're working on this document with, and also being able to view the comment history as you collaborate with others. And the most important, being able to share. And all of those things we'll be able to see very quickly in this quick tutorial. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a title. For example, Odyssey Codes Tutorials. Now you can see the title is to the left and we'd like to center this title. So you come up here and you'll see your toolbar. And this toolbar we're all sort of familiar with in that it offers some of the same options. For example, we would like our title to be bold, so we can make it bold. We want a title to be larger, so we can make it larger. And you'll see every time I hover over something, it gives you the title for that item. You can see italic, underline, so let's underline our title. This will happen for every single one of these that you hover over, so you'll be able to understand what it does. For example, if I had misspelled something, I can come up here and do the spelling. Maybe not for the title. Let's say, hello. Right. You see this red line underneath? If I was to click the spelling and grammar check, it would offer a suggestion or ignore, or I can even add this to the dictionary. However, we know what we need to do. You'll see that you'll no longer see this. If I remove the E, for example, you'll see the same thing. And you can see the suggestions will sometimes appear at the top of the word if you click on them. So this is another way of doing that instead of clicking this. Let's erase this. Now, the next basic feature is centering. So in order to center our text, we will come here, align. So we want to align from the left and go to the center. We could also go to the right. We can also justify it. However, for our purposes, we want it to be centered. I think for style, let's remove the underline. Let's make it slightly bigger, right? You can see I can use the plus or the minus as well. We can also change the font. Some of these fonts will have different options. For example, you can see for Montserrat, we go from a thin, extra thin, light, all the way up to extra bold. The next thing that we want to do is define what kind of text this is. And the way you'll do that is with the styles. You can see we have the normal text option, which is usually what this is set on by default. You have your title, your subtitle for that title, the heading, and other options as well. So for our purposes, we want to apply title. All of these will come with default settings or default styles. What we can do once we select the title is we can now apply the formatting that we want for that title. Now you see I chose a font that did not have all of the extra options. However, I could still choose the other ones if I wanted to. Okay, now let's say I do like this title, but I'm not sure as to whether I want this keyword to stay. So by highlighting the text, I open myself up to something very powerful for this, that is very powerful in this tool. I'm able to add comments that other people will be able to see. For example, I can ask, should we replace this word? And I can leave that comment. Okay. So far, what we've done is we've created a title, we've centered it, changed its font, change its style, change what kind of style that applies to that particular title. In this case, title. And then we've also offered a comment. We can also add reactions. So if you really like something, for example, I really like the title, or I really like the name Odyssey Codes. So you can add an emoji, right? You can continue to add other emojis as well. So this is just the really collaborative nature of Google Docs, where you can offer basically emotes like when you're texting as well, for others to see and comment. So let's resolve these, and then let's say we want to replace the word. The other option that you have, let's say this. The other option that you have is to switch your mode, which is also very unique. You can go from editing to making suggestions. So now you can see, should we replace this word? Your teammate can come in and say, yeah, let's replace it. Let's remove it. Okay, and if we go back to editing, right, you'll see now our teammate wants us to remove this portion. And you can see here the comment says delete tutorials. So now if I accept it, what will happen is it will delete tutorials and then the comment as well. Okay. Now, the next thing is let's create a heading. The way you do that is the same way. So let's say YouTube tutorials. Odyssey Codes has multiple layers to it, and one of those layers is YouTube tutorials. So I'll come in here and I'll change it to a heading 1. The other thing that I can add is a subtitle. You can see the subtitle is formatted differently. Now let us center this. And you can see that the color has changed, the text color. So you can come here and change the color. For example, orange. Right here we celebrate life through tech. We can make this lowercase. We can make And the next thing that we'll do is change this heading 1. We'll make sure that it's the same format. Also make this can also have subheadings. So inside of YouTube tutorials, you can have Google Doc tutorial. And after that, you can make normal text. So for today's video, tutorial. And so on and so forth. Okay. Now, how do we make sure that everything is the same? So what we'll do is we'll make sure that the font is the same for everyone. We won't change this. However, we can even change the color and everything else if we want to. The last thing I'll go through are some of these features up here. For example, for file, some of the things that you get for this are the version history. So as this will save automatically. So you can get the version history and you can name the different versions so you can go back to the document that you want. The next important thing is that you can add this shortcut to your drive so you don't have to look for this. You also have the option to download this file as a Microsoft Word document or any other document as well, however suits your need. You can share this with others or publish to the web. For sharing with others, it's good to know the email of the person that you want to share this with, and they'll be able to open this Google document and work on it alongside you. For edit, pretty standard. You get your cut, copy, and paste, which you can also do using the mouse. You can change the view. So for example, you can remove the ruler at the very top if you want to remove the ruler. Add the ruler back. This will go more in detail later, but it allows you to insert very special tooling and very special features. For example, the table of contents. So as you saw throughout the video, we were creating different titles and different headings. And the reason that we want to do that is because of this. We can insert a table of contents. So this table of contents, let's say I want it to look like this, where I have the plain text. I don't really want the dotted, and I do want the links. So I'll click here, and you can see I now have links to those headings. And this is why the different size headings are important, because the heading 1 will always be above heading 2. And if I insert heading 3, right, so instead of this being normal text, let's remove the bullet points and I make it a heading 3. Okay. If I refresh this, you'll see basic tutorial, and then you'll see advanced tutorial. Okay. Now I can add in items to discuss here. Okay. And if I refresh this, now you can see our document is getting a bit larger. You can click the links, and you can see by clicking the links, you'll be able to jump to that section. So as the document gets larger and larger, you'll be able to navigate it rather easily. You can also format different things. So you can see the paragraph styles, the headings that we were just working on, the alignment, all of those. You can find the more advanced ways of using these here in these toolbars. You know, if you want to add citations, for example, let's count the number of words. You can see how many words. You can even choose to display the number of words. So far, I have 32 words in this document, and it's a pretty decent sized document. The last thing I'll do is offer a comment. And then I'll also, where I commented, I'll offer a suggestion. instead of limiting ourselves to video or YouTube, let's make video tutorials. Now, as a summary, what we've done in this video is we've gone through a basic introduction of how to use Google Docs. We've created a title with subheadings and other multiple headings. We've formatted the text by choosing the font, changing the color, and also the size. We've created a table of contents or an index, depending on how you want to think about it. We've created a table of contents that will be able to help us navigate through this document. And we've gone through the beginning of the collaborative features for this. For example, the ability to even call folks or make comments. In subsequent videos, we'll look at more advanced features. I hope this was helpful for you today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.